The following is a rebroadcast of TV50's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. TV50 Sport and the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association present Candlepin Stars and Strikes. It's Sandy's Bowling Lanes in Windham. It's the Stearner Cooperative Bank's Mixed Doubles Championship. Split it. Look at this.
Yes! Oh, wow! Right in the pocket. Oh, there was never a doubt about that one.
And now your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to Sandy's Bowling Lanes and another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. We've reached the semi-final round, Dan Murphy, of this Mixed Doubles Championship from the Stearner Cooperative Bank.
And the checks start growing now, the excitement. Got a good match this week. Of course, Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner going for 4 in a row. And opponents this week, Toni Baldinelli and Clarence Davis, should be a real good one.
All right, let's meet them all. First of all, our challengers, our number 2 seeded team, Toni Baldinelli and Clarence Davis.
Toni carried an average of 116, Clarence 123. Veteran, both of them are veterans, really. Both of them have won or been on the show and won several matches while being here. Toni won a ladder championship. Clarence lost his in the finals, but no strangers to the light, so they're used to the lanes and used to our format, and it should be interesting.
And they became the number 2 seeded team by virtue of a combined roll-off score of 1,286. And there are a look at our 3-time champions, Jackie Stearner and Steve Vadney.
And they go every other week. Somebody does a little better than the other one, carried each other, but first and third weeks, it was Jackie Stearner. 2 weeks ago was Steve Vadney, the better bowler, but seemed to work well as a team, so let's see if they can continue to do it.
All right, our bonus ball jackpot will be up to $50 at the end of this week's program. The runners-up in this match will share $250. The winners, of course, will move into the ladder championship match. That'll be coming up 1 week from today. Gary Duffett and Carol Downey, the number 1 seeded team, waiting in the wings to find out who their opponents will be. We'll settle this whole thing. We'll get the match started with our first string right after this timeout. Don't go away. All right, here we are, semi-final round in this Stearner Cooperative Bank Mixed Doubles Championship, and all the way from that number 5 seeded position, Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner have won 3 in a row, and today they will try and make it 4 against the team of Clarence Davis and Toni Baldinelli. And as we said right before the break, the winner of this match moves on to get the number 1 seeded team, Gary Duffett and Carol Downey, in next week's ladder championship match. But Clarence Davis is ready to go. He'll start us off on lane 32. For today's match,
Clarence, as we said, has been with us before. Back in September of '85, he defeated Dan LaPlume, 402-352. Came back the following week to beat Mike Brutzis, 453-394, before losing to Tom Surrett, 414-395.
which works out to an average of almost 417 per 3-string match, or just under 139 a string. Not too shabby. And also, perhaps even more amazing than that, been keeping track lately of the percentage of boxes that the bowlers mark when they're on the program, and of all the bowlers that have been with us before in this mixed doubles series, Clarence Davis has the highest average, the highest percentage of marks per total boxes rolled, 54.4%. That is really something.
So that means he should mark this box? Because
Yep.
he was open the first box?
Yep.
It's an easy game to figure out.
This won't be an easy shot, though.
Nice shot. There it is. Your stats work right out, Doug. Nice shot. Use the wood effectively in front of the 6 and 10. Carry the 5. Nice shot.
And now Steve Vadney.
If you've watched this the last few weeks, Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner in each match have jumped out to a big lead after the first game.
Another good crowd on hand this week for Stars and Strikes here at Sandy's. Enjoying the mixed doubles action. Of course, all brought to you in cooperation with the Stoneham Cooperative Bank. It's only appropriate. The major sponsors for this tournament. 2 marks for Steve Vadney. Well, it's Steve's turn, of course. And
that's right. It's his week. And I think Jackie's making sure he realizes that.
And now Toni Baldinelli. And here's a lady that needs very little introduction.
No, she's got one of those names that are synonymous with Candlepin bowling. Of course, her father and mother also was an excellent Candlepin bowler. Must be in the genes. 7 fill on the spare.
Or maybe it's in the shirts, the bowling shirts. That's a bad joke, sorry. Toni Marie has been with us in singles and doubles competition. In singles, she won a ladder championship against Carol Downey back in November of '84 with a 347. And then in the WCBC Mixed Doubles Championship back a little over 2 years ago in March of '85, she was paired with Bill Treefel and lost a match to Jack Ray and Sharon Rawson. Spare for Toni Marie. And now Jackie Stearner. And what a story she's been the last 3 weeks.
Yes, if you, I mentioned a couple weeks ago, well, her first match, she was extremely nervous. Got up in the lanes, and the first 2 boxes she threw were spares. And from there, it's been nothing but anything short of spectacular in the way she's been bowling. Ironically enough, Toni Marie winning that championship round against Carol Downey. If she was fortunate enough to win this match, she'd be bowling against Carol Downey and Gary Duffett. There's a strike for Jackie Stearner, and Jackie's going to have something to say about that before next week arrives.
Off to a fast start. Both teams marking.
Clarence going to fill the mark that Toni Marie put up on the board for him in the 4th. And a good 8 drop. 3-6 for another spare. Ooh, a little light 3-pin around the 6.
.63.5 for the team.
Good ball.
Leaving the 5-pin. He'll have frozen wood.
Nice smooth delivery with Clarence Davis. No wasted motion.
Steve Vadney now to fill a strike.
And we got the 3, 4, and 6. Trying to split the 3 and the 6. No, a little full. But a good 9 fill and a 9-pin lead.
We were talking with Steve after last week's showdown about superstitions, and of course it's always a fun topic of conversation to talk different, anyone really, but athletes in particular, about what their superstitions are. And Steve has one that's kind of unusual. He was telling us about it after last week's show. Does not like to have pennies in his pocket. Just anytime he gets pennies in change, he immediately gets rid of them. Usually gives them to his 2 youngsters.
Nice shot. Hit the ball just right between the wood and the 5-pin. Fine shot here. Ball takes the 5 and the wood does the damage on the 4 and the 7. he figures it's bad luck. Why is he giving it to his children?
Good question. We'll have to ask him that. That's a 7 fill for Tony Marie on the spare left by Clarence Davis, but not a heck of a lot to shoot at. 5-7-10 with no wood.
One of those little things. If I'm bowling good, I'll always try to throw the first ball in each frame. If I'm bowling badly, I don't use any of them. Just a little quirk that we all have. Crossing over in the 1-2 pocket is Tony Marie, and 6-9-10 with the 7 over in that left-hand corner. The only shot, I think, is to try to play the 6 and the 10. Hopefully it'll dance across and get that 7. Got a good shot at it. Ooh, nice try.
Covers it. Now Jackie Stearner to work on the mark left by Steve Vadney. Big fill. And she'll shoot at the 6-10 for another one. 10-pin lead for Vadney and Stearner through completed frames.
Chance to increase it if she can convert this 6-10. No doubt about it. Good ball again. Just broke a little sharp at the end. Almost hit that 1-2 pocket, but a good 7 fill, and she's going to have a shot here. Wood turned nicely. 3 and 6. Well, wait a minute. She's rolling away now. Oh boy. That was nice when I was resting up against the 3-pin.
Still possible, but now it's a cut shot.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, yes, without the wood.
Without the wood is right. Never touch the wood. Wow. Watch this. Up and over the piece of wood. Doesn't even touch it. Wow. This is the girl that was nervous 3 weeks ago. I should be so nervous.
Clarence Davis, final 2 of the first string.
Again, they meet every challenge that's been put up in front of them. This week they're getting a little rougher treatment the first game that they had the last few weeks. But
will it go? Yes.
Yeah, nice shot.
Clarence Davis.
Wow. Uses the wood effectively out in front of the 6-10. Watch the ball. Just nudges that piece of wood in front of the 8. Rolls around and nudges the 7-pin. Oh boy.
Back to the action, and you're looking at Clarence Davis's reaction to that. Almost picked it up. The 9 and a 119 for the team. And now Steve Vadney working on Jackie's last spare in the 8th. And question is, how big will the lead be? It's been the same pattern every week. Jump off to a quick lead. And they're going to be doing it again this week.
And this is going to be their biggest opening string. Ooh, just slid by that 3-pin.
The key thing is, Steve and Jackie have been able to string marks together, and that's the importance of being able to step up there after a rest. And
exactly, that's a team aspect of this Scotch doubles. Your partner puts the mark up, it's up to you to fill it decently and try to put another one up for him or her.
Big strike in the 10th.
One-two pocket, but his ball backs up a little bit. It's coming back like a left-hander's ball would react. Good mixing action there. Trips the 5 for the strike. And more than likely he's going to be over 150. Yes, he is. Or they are, I should say. He had a lot of help.
7 marks in the string, going for number 8 right here. There it is.
Oh, boy. 154.
Ho-hum, business as usual for the team of Jackie Stearner and Steve Vadney. A 35-pin lead after the first string with a 154. And we'll return with the middle string here on Stars and Strikes as we take one more look at that spare in the 10th. We'll be right back. Jackie Stearner will get us started in the middle string. 8 marks for the team of Jackie Stearner and Steve Vadney in that first string, and there's a big 9 drop.
I was going to say make it 9. Well, got a shot at the 10-pin all alone. Nerve-wracking, waiting for the wood to settle down.
Will not be a
steal. Nerves of steel. Wow. I keep saying, this is the girl that was nervous 3 weeks ago before her first match. Very close to a law that time. Not.
Same pin.
Yep, 9-pin drop. No, I think that's a 6-pin, Doug.
Oh, you're right. It was the.
You got a bad angle.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh.
She wish it was the same pin. Oh boy, she had a lot of room to the left too. She just shakes her head like, oh boy. Well, still spare 9, 10, 29 after 2.
Toni Baldinelli. Right in the pocket.
Wow.
There was no doubt.
Her ball breaks right to left. But her pocket's the 1-3. You can see the result there. Nice looking ball.
First strike for the team.
Another one. Yeah, time just a little light. I'd like to be right in 3/4 on the head pin if you can. 2, 4, 5, and 7, but a nasty piece of wood that may prevent that 5 from going down.
See if she can wedge it in there.
Yes! Yay, off the wall. Nice shot. Spare on strike.
There it is.
I was right about the wood. She got some help off the right side, the left side wall.
Steve Vadney. And he's right in the pocket. Looking at a spare leave on the 6-9.
6-9 with some help in between. On the 6-pin should cover the spare. Well, we got another problem here, I think. Okay, now you got a piece of wood in between, another one out in front. I don't know when those 2 pins meet what's going to happen. See if you can get by it and play the 6. No, no problem. No problem. I just watched Marianne Kelly on a big scoreboard.
9 drop.
You folks can pick it out, and she does a great job. She likes to put that mark down in a hurry. But if it isn't neat enough, the next time we flash back on, it's a whole new spare. It's all colored in. And every time she does it, she looks over at me like, don't worry, I'm going to clean it up. Now watch next time you come back, folks. That spare in the 4th will be all colored in, nice and neat.
Clarence Davis working on a spare. And there are possibilities here on the 1, 7, 9, and 10 with wood. It'll be interesting if it goes.
Waiting for a piece of wood to settle in around the 9-pin. It's got to be on the head pin.
Let's see.
Yes, no, maybe.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, wow. Nice try. Here we go. We're going to come back to the scoreboard. You just can't imagine, folks, how neat this is going to be. See? Colored in the corners.
The lead right now is 38 for the team of Vadney and Stearner, and Clarence Davis is opposite a spare here in the 4th. we've seen a lot of this type
leave.
of leave. Yeah.
Either the 6-10-5 or the 4-7-5, which that's what it is in this case. But got a piece of wood out in front. He's going to shoot right at the 5-pin. Oh, he's going left. Whoa, okay. Well, there's two ways of making that one, my way and the right way. I would have went right at the 5-pin, but hey, result's the right one. It's fair.
We'll still count it, even though he didn't do it the way Dan would have played it. And we'll take a break and be right back with more on Stars and Strikes after these messages. Don't go away. Well, once again, as has happened so many times during their 4 weeks here, Jackie Stearner comes up working on a spare. And Steve Vadney has done the same thing many times, and that's been the result many times. They have been filling each other's marks beautifully.
1-2 pocket, but her ball backs up, much like Steve Vadney's. Look at this! Oh!
Wow. She's got the crowd into it, doesn't she?
Certainly does. One of the younger contestants we've had. It seems like she's been around the lanes forever here. The way she's bowling, unbelievable. I said that Stoneham Cooperative Bank should give her a vacation. Should we get into raises?
You're really just begging for trouble here, aren't you?
The president now, I want his phone number.
And I'll give it to him, too. See, that's what you don't know. Tony Marie, looking for the cut shot.
Well, you're going to get all these depositors flocking to the bank just to see Jackie Stearner. She's done so well on the show. It's going to pay off.
$9 for Tony Marie. Now, look at that, a 70 half for the team, and they lost 18 more pins.
Unbelievable. And don't forget, there's the open box, the second box, a single pin that Jackie just slid by. They could have had 6 in a row. There it goes. No, short pin. Well, delicate shot here. She's got to stay away from the double wood in the channel and cover the 10 pin, which is probably the most difficult pin for a right-hander.
And that wood is bothering her because you can see it's still rocking back and forth. It's not going to be a factor in the shot, but it can be a
Look
distraction.
at this.
Right
boy.
there. Boy, there's a veteran. Wow. Tony Marie's hit a few of those during her career. Doesn't miss many. That's her 4th mark, the 8th for the team.
It's ironic Jackie Stearner does most of her bowling at, guess where? Baldinelli's Bowlway. Well, they are human. They can miss a few. Much to the relief of Tony Marie and Clarence.
17 boxes now completed in the match, and the team of Stearner and Vadney has left 1 pin standing.
Wow.
And that was back in the 3rd frame of the 1st string. Looking for a break there, trying to kick out the 2-pin. Didn't happen.
2, 6, and 10, but I think he's got a shot if he plays inside of the 2. Have the ball off the 2 into the wood. Didn't quite have the angle, but then he almost covered it. And as you mentioned, Doug, pinning very, very well. And there's another 10 box. Perfect game going. Not a pin left standing. Phil on a spare.
And it'll be what it'll be.
6.
6. Maybe that 7-pin was going to kick out of there. It's a tough shot. The way it is right now. Clarence, of course, from Exeter. High single of a 198. High triple, 456. Oh, that was a heck of an effort. Let's see. Let's see. Yes.
There it goes. Just enough. Right on the red line. Not the heaviest part of the pin. Rolled into that 9 and just enough to nudge it over. right on just the red line, almost. Oh boy!
Wow.
There's 3 fill. Gained a few in count. Some decent game going and rolling at 129 pace, and yet they're going to lose pins to the lead.
Eight-box Clarence. And now Jackie Stearner. Jackie carries an average of 105. She has a high single of 154 and a high triple 398. Mentioned she lives in Stoneham and works at the Stoneham Cooperative Bank.
May we have a Cassidy body, please? Cassidy.
Well, they've got a great shot at a 400.
They certainly do.
They're going to be up near or over 300, depending on what Jackie does in this box after 2.
136 with a 9 in the back. Gotta hurry.
Nope.
Again, the 140 game. 41 plus this. And 141 it's going to be.
For a 2-string, 295.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. That's some bowling. Well, Toni Marie's only hope is to get a couple marks up here and still keep it within shouting distance.
Oh, she'd love to see that 8-pin kick out in the back, but it will stay.
4 horsemen to the right, plus, as Doug said, that 8-pin in the back.
Nope. Well, a mark here would keep the lead under 50, and of course everything Toni Marie could get here in the 10th would be critical.
And we got another 4 horsemen, this time to the left with a 10-pin.
A 9 for a 126 and a 2-string total 245, which isn't bad on its own, but it's just not enough to keep up with Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner. There you see the story after 2, and we'll be back for the 3rd and final string on Stars and Strikes, our semifinal match right after this timeout. Before we get to the 3rd string, take a look once again at the individual roll-off scores. And for those of you who haven't been with us during the ladder series here on the Mixed Doubles Championship, the roll-offs were held separately, the men's and the women's, and then the partners were matched up by inverting the positions. In other words, Rick Barrett, for instance, number 1 in the men's roll-off, was paired up with Lois Queen, who was number 6 on the women's roll-off, and vice versa all the way up the line. And so Steve Vadney, who finished 2nd by 1 pin, ended up paired with Jackie Stearner, who finished 5th. And in the case of Clarence Davis, who finished 6th in the men's roll-off, he ended up paired with Toni Marie Baldinelli, whom, as you will see when we switch over to the women's page here, finished 1st in the women's roll-off with the 627. And there you get a look at the rest of the scores in the women's roll-off. High scores in both roll-offs, really, compared to some of the scores that we've had in the past. Toni Marie with that 627 to win it, and even the lower score of Lois Queen, 572, that's good enough to win some of the ladies' roll-offs as well. So good scores, and then the total scores of the individual bowlers were combined, and that resulted in the seating positions that we now have. And that's how it was all done here on Stars and Strikes. So that's how I feel like I just explained the rules at the Grammy Awards or something.
Yeah, could you go over that again?
Later on, Dan. We'll do it later on. Right now it's time for Clarence Davis to start us off on lane 32 here in the 3rd and final string. and we'll get things underway here once again. The team of Clarence Davis and Toni Baldinelli trailing by an even 50 going into the third string. And it's just been uncanny, the same script every week for the last 4 weeks.
This has been their stiffest challenge yet. I mean, 245, that's a decent score for a Scotch doubles format. But unfortunately, they're against Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner. And they're getting better as the weeks go by.
One thing we don't often get a chance to do is acknowledge the outstanding work of our TV50 Sports crew who work Candlepin, Stars and Strikes here every week. And of course, we're winding down our 86-87 season. This show and then next week's show will be it for the season until the fall. And we certainly want to thank all of you for tuning in and writing and sending in suggestions and comments. And we also thank the members of the TV50 crew here who make it all possible. And one of them's having a birthday today, Chris Palmer, who handles the audio, bringing all the crowd sounds and the pin sounds and all the action sounds that make it all possible here on Stars and Strikes. Chris's birthday is today, and we want to wish him a happy one. And Dan, you remembered to bring the present, right?
We're going to give him the same thing as we gave him last year?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My rendition of Happy Birthday, if we have time at the end of the show, which is about 45 minutes long, so everyone's saying, thank goodness.
Oh,
nice
great shot. Steve Vadney for the spare.
And on we go.
That's 14 marks for the team already.
Boy.
Oh, almost another.
Stoneham Cooperative Bank. Stop into the people at the bank and mention you saw us on Channel 50, Candlepin, Stars and Strikes. We appreciate their sponsorship. And they're well represented here. And Jackie Stearner, who works at the bank, and the big scoreboard is Mary Ann Kelly, Assistant Treasurer.
Mary Ann will be helping us present the big checks next week for the ladder champions. Again, the runner-up team here today will split $250. The winners, of course, move on to the ladder championship match next week. The winners of that match will split $1,000 and $500 to the runners-up.
And the way it's going right now, it's looking more and more like Jackie Stearner and Steve Vadney.
Oh, what a shot.
No sooner do I say that and say, Toni Marie says, wait a minute. It's not over until it's over. Really a nice shot. Split the 3 and the 6 and carry that 4-pin. Jackie trying to edge that 10-pin over. A little body English, but it's a tough wood out in front. Got to turn it, push it back. Nice shot. Just enough. Just high enough on the red line, just above it, and the ball clipped that 10-pin on the way through.
There you go. There you go.
And we will pause right here. 48-4 for the team of Stearner and Vadney. They are in command over Baldinelli and Davis. We'll be back to finish it off here on Stars and Strikes after these words. Spare in the 4th, and Clarence Davis is about to fill it. It was left by his partner, Toni Baldinelli. With, watch out, it falls this way.
Well, it's almost a must mark. They got to mount a little bit of offense here and put a string of marks up there. At least give Steve and Jackie something to think about. There's 2 in a row.
That's 11 marks for the team.
Those situations where they're bowling good, but the team they're bowling against is bowling better.
Well, let's see if Clarence can show us another one here on the 179 with Wood.
It'd be a shame. It's going to be 245. They're allowed to be 270 or more and lose the match. Although we've got a long ways to go. Got to keep marking. No, slid by the head pin.
May we have the deceased party, please? Deceased.
And it's still there. That'll bring up Steve Vadney. This team has just been working so well together, and this week a perfect indication of it. They're headed for a 400 triple. Steve has 8 marks, Jackie has 7.
It's amazing to bowl a 400 series in this type of bowling. As we mentioned the last few weeks, you bowl 2 boxes, you sit for 6 before yourself. Your partner, of course, is up there before you, but before you come up again, it's 6 boxes later.
Steve lives in Claremont. His wife, Annette, and their children, Stevie and Jennifer. All of them are here. Steve works for Sturm Ruger in Newport. Does most of his bowling at the Sunset Lanes in Newport.
Four, 7, and 8. Triangle in the corner for a spare. Oh, a little light.
That 4-pin just flew right by. Well, 4 boxes remaining, and they've got to be 4 very big ones for the team of Baldinelli and Davis.
Yeah, almost the point where they have to throw the double strike. Somewhere along the line.
Spare leave for Toni Marie.
Wants to play it low, almost going after the 6-pin. Oh, just enough to cover it. Thought she may have been a little high. Ball flies away, up and around. The wood was enough to carry the shot. Nice spare for Toni Marie.
Toni Marie and Clarence have shared the marking duties about equally as well, too. Of the 12, they each have 6. But they just haven't had enough. As Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner just continue to throw high scores. So that'll do it for Toni Marie's efforts for the day. Now Jackie Stearner for her final 2.
2-5 with a 7 and a 10. Trying to be on the left side of the 2-pin. Hey, nice shot. Went by it and snapped the wood. Watch the wood snap here. Nice shot.
Now see, she wants to bowl that bonus ball at the end of the show. She just tied Steve for the number of marks. They each have 8 now.
Well.
And if it ends in a tie, she would be throwing it because she's thrown 2 strikes.
Oh,
Steve only has 1.
Yeah. Are we changing the rules as we go along here? Or does Steve know that?
Well, I don't know if we told him, but
we're telling him now.
Yeah, exactly. So that does it for Jackie Stearner. She winds up this time with 8 marks in 14 boxes.
That's amazing. I mean, no, it's not that amazing. She just bowled well. I mean, if you could have seen her when she got here a few weeks ago. This is relax. She did.
And how? Well, the only thing that's in doubt now is, will Steve be able to face up to the pressure in those final 2 and throw a mark rather, so that he can
throw the bonus ball?
Right.
I don't know if Steve knows that they're tied in marks. So I had a whisper in his ear. You need a mark. Nice shot by Clarence.
Sparing in his final box. For Clarence, that is mark number 7. All of them have been spares. 13 for the team, which is enough to win most matches.
You're right. And a 7 fill, 122.
And a 367.
Boy, that's too bad. That's a good score. Scotch mixed doubles and end up on the losing side.
Steve Vadney now for the final 2. Diamond.
Will he get to throw the bonus ball for the contest?
$50 on the line, by the way, and I reminded folks. Oh, there it is. He took all the suspense out of it.
You remember 2 weeks ago he threw and he only got 2 pins. We were kidding him about that. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. They're going to get a great total. Well over 400. 404, 414 right now. Plus the 2 balls. $419.
That is 18 marks, Dan, for the team.
Out of 30 boxes. Wow.
19.
Wow. That's all I can say.
Just a great performance. Another one by this team. Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner really pouring it on, and a 129 final string, and there you see the 424, defeating Toni Baldinelli and Clarence Davis with a very creditable 367 of their own. We'll be back to talk to all the bowlers and present the prizes and see if we can't win some money in the bonus ball contest right after these messages. Back once again at Sandy's, and Dan, they've made it 4 in a row. There are not many teams or individuals that have won as many as 4 in a row here. No, in this type of format, that's an amazing score. There's not much more we can say, but wow. You know, and next week the championship round, I don't know if they can top what they did today, but I'm afraid Carol Downey and Gary Duff are going to have all they can handle. All right, let's meet all the bowlers. First of all, our runners-up with an outstanding 367, but not quite enough, Clarence Davis and Toni Baldinelli. Come on up. And a good, well-deserved round of applause for the 2 of them. Come on right in here, and we'll get a chance to talk to you here for just a second. It was a great score, and we've talked about how tough it is to score well in this format, and you had a lot of marks, just not quite enough, I guess.
No, they were awesome today. There's no beating them.
Clarence, again, good bowling for both of you, but just not quite enough.
No, it wasn't. It was just a little bit. They were a little bit too hotter than we were.
Yep.
But we do have something for you to take home. To remember us by, we have your share of the prize money, $250, and the runner-up plaque from the N&R Trophy Company of Winchendon, and also the copy of Jim Fairhurst's book. And we hope that we'll see you both again. I'm sure we will. You've both been with us before, and again, great job. They're hot. They've just been very hot.
Yeah.
They really have been. So we appreciate you being here. We hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Pleasure.
All right. Thanks very much for coming. Clarence Davis and Toni Baldinelli are runners-up, and now we will try and win $50 for one of you at home in our bonus ball contest. By the way, I started to mention this before, but we're not taking any more postcards. You can go ahead, Steve. Before, as we're taping, we have completed taping for the season, which is why we're not showing the address anymore. However, if you do mail them in, we will put them into the box and get them ready for next year. 9 is the fall, and not a match for Joseph Twardowski, I believe it is. Joseph Twardowski, Mrs. Joseph Twardowski, in fact, from Merrimack, who chose 6. So, Mrs. Twardowski, you'll be receiving the TV50 NHCBA desk pen. We'll go up to $60 next week. And I don't know, I'm running out of things to say. I mean, how many compliments can I give you? I mean, it's just bowling terrifically well as a team.
Yep. I'm going to wake up, though.
Well, you've come.
Not for one more match.
Yeah.
I was going to say, maybe you have one more match left.
Right.
A terrific match for both of you. It seemed like this match, particularly unlike the other 3, it seemed like you were both hot.
On it, yeah.
We were due to get it together. We've been, passing it back and forth, and now we're together and ready for the next one.
All right, now I know you don't believe this, but Gary Duffett and Carol Downey are the last team that you have to face, and we did not plan this. But that's just the way it turned out, and obviously they're both great bowlers, and they've been here before. That should be a good one too, I imagine.
Super.
We'll be looking forward to it, and we hope to see you again next week if your arms don't fall off from all this bowling you've been doing, but we'll see you then.
Thank you.
All right, Jackie and Steve, thanks very much. Once again, another terrific performance. Jackie Stearner and Steve Vadney, they make it 4 in a row, and I guess we can even more point out now, Steve Vadney runs his own personal record now to 14-3, and I don't know, he's beginning to just dominate.
Well, what he's hoping is make it 15-3 next week. But I'll tell you, they got a tough team. But if they bowl like they did today, I don't see anybody beating them. But it's tough to follow up with a score and how well they bowled today. It's tough to follow up with another show exactly the same. So, well, we'll wait and see next week.
Well, Jackie Stearner, of course, having not been with us before, is a perfect 4-0. So you add those 2 records together, and that's pretty impressive.
It certainly is, and she's bowled superbly. And like you said, there's no more compliments that we can give them other than, well, they'll try to make it 5 in a row or 4 in a row next week.
Well, I hope you'll be with us next Sunday at 12 noon or next Saturday at 5 o'clock. It'll be our final show of the 86-87 season, and it should be a great one. The championship of the Stoneham Cooperative Bank Mixed Doubles Championship. It'll be the 5th seed, Steve Vadney and Jackie Stearner, winners of 4 matches in a row against our number 1 seeded team, Gary Duffett and Carol Downey. So we invite you to join us then. It should be a real good one. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV50 Sports crew, Doug Brown, bye-bye, everybody.